Hello and welcome to Piano with Georgia. I'm Georgia and today we are going to learn another song. This one will include eighth notes and a review of how to count them successfully within a song that has a variety of other rhythms. We will also talk about how to go beyond learning the notes and rhythms and make it sound like expressive music. So hop on your bench or chair and let's get started. Our composer of the day is Louis Köhler. He lived from 1820 to 1886. He was a conductor, composer, and piano teacher. When he was in his late 20s, he shifted his career to focus less on conducting and more on teaching piano and composing compositions for teaching. Liszt and Wagner were two more famous composers who knew and admired his work. Today's song is titled Melodie number 18 by the composer, but it is often seen in teaching books today with the title of Duet, referring to the way that both hands play together but on different notes to create a harmony that is beautiful to play and to listen to. One thing to know about this piece as we get started is that I have chosen another piece that will not involve moving your hands around at all. Once you are set up, you do not have to move. This keeps one aspect of playing simpler so that we can focus on the many other complexities that are happening. First, look through the piece just with your eyes. Our time signature is 4/4. So we can expect to feel that 1, 2, 3, 4 rhythmic flow. And we also know that as we count each measure, we'll add up to 4 beats. If we come up with something different, there's a mistake to sort out. We also see that we have the familiar quarter notes and half notes. But when we get to the third measure, we have some eighth notes. Exciting! We know that these pairings of notes will go twice as fast as our quarter notes. It is important to find the fastest notes in any song to make sure you don't start too fast at the beginning. We will count these with our beats and the word "and" for the second eighth note that falls in between each beat. For more detail, refer back to our lesson on rhythms and how to count them. As we scan the patterns of the notes, we can see that most of the notes are stepping, so we will be playing mostly keys right next to each other. But there are 3 spots where we have skips, going from measure 3 to measure 4, and going from measure 7 to measure 8 are both spots with skips. Good news is both of these spots are exactly the same pattern. However, let's look closer at measure 4. The left-hand part is a skip and the right-hand part is a step. This is the one spot in the entire piece where the hands go in a different pattern. Many modern books that include this song actually change the left-hand note to be a step like the right hand, but we are going to go with the original and give our coordination a challenge. Looking at measure 1 to measure 2, we notice a larger gap for the right hand, a 1/5 to be precise. Larger gaps I like to calculate and write in an alphabet letter. Right hand will be on our easy to name line for G as it goes to the new spot, G. Meanwhile, left hand is repeating its note. That's nice. One more thing our eyes can notice, repetition. Measures 1, 2, and 3 are exactly the same as measures 5, 6, and 7. Measure 4 will sound more like a question, And measure 8 will feel like an answer that feels conclusive. Analysis complete. Let's play. We need to find our starting notes and our hand positions. So, looking at the music, right hand, you have a note that is on the third line. Using either an acronym or counting up from the line we know is G, we have a G, A, B. This note is a B. And there's a finger number there for us, finger 3. So we want to put finger 3 on the B that is above middle C. Left hand, you are also in treble clef. It is very common for composers of this time to use treble clef for both hands in their compositions, probably to be helpful in note recognition. This presents a different challenge for us here, though. This note has a bunch of extra lines under the staff. These are called ledger lines, and we simply keep the alphabet going in order to get to the note. In this case, we're down below middle C. We know where middle C is, so let's think the alphabet backwards and step down to figure it out. C, B, A, G. Left hand's first note is a G. There is a finger number there as well, so finger 5 goes on G. I can now look at my hands and notice both of my hands are set up in a G scale position. Now that's easy to remember. In fact, let's run through our G major 5-finger scale as a little warm-up for this song. 1 and 2, ready, play. G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G. Do this exercise as slowly as you need to, and if hands together gives you fits, don't worry, separate them or go very slow so you can get them to cooperate. Now the song itself. Side note for just a moment, learning a new song is always about picking one thing to think about and being forgiving of the other many things you have to think about, or figuring out a way to practice that allows you to focus on one thing at a time. Our focus layers will be rhythm, notes, finger numbers, and hand coordination, and finally, beauty. If you can play beautifully as you learn the notes, that is even better. One day that will happen easily, but for now, be patient with yourself and know that one thing at a time is fantastic, especially if it keeps you from getting frustrated and also keeps you coming back. Right hand rhythm and left hand rhythms are the same. So let's just tap both hands together from the get-go. We know we have those eighth notes coming up. As a way to prevent us from starting too fast, let's think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the whole time, so we feel the eighth notes in between our longer notes. There are other ways to count, but let's add up to 4 in each measure. Let's also just focus on measures 1 through 4, since we noticed measures 5 through 8 are almost the same. Tapping the rhythm, 1 and 2 and ready and go, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 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 and. Now let's focus on our note names. Our hands have different notes, so let's focus on right hand alone first. Keep in mind that you can pause the video and repeat any of these steps at any time. Rewind to repeat with me, or pause and repeat on your own. If after one playthrough you are playing perfectly, feel free to jump ahead to the left hand or pause and try the repetitions at a faster speed. Make this video work for you at your pace. If you are already playing both hands together with ease, jump ahead to where we start working on creating a beautiful sound. Get finger 3 ready on B. Hey, that rhymes. Let's first focus on the shapes and not worry about naming every single note. 1 and a 2 and a ready and play and B. Step up, and hold. Down to 5th, step up, and hold. Down a step, same, up, down, same, up, skip down, and hold, and step up, and hold, and. Now let's repeat that and say the note names. And a 1, and 2, and a ready, and play, and B, step up to C, up to D, and hold, all the way down to G, step up to A, B, and hold, A, B, B, G, and hold, and A, and hold, and. One more time, and let's say finger numbers to make sure every finger is in the right place so muscle memory will develop, making the song feel automated much sooner. And 1, and 2, and ready, and play, and 3, 4, 5, and hold, and 1, 2, 3, and hold, and 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, and hold, and 2, and hold, and. Turning to the left hand. Set up on that G major 5-finger scale that starts with the G below middle C. Left hand starts with finger 5 on G, so give it a little wiggle to remind yourself. Now let's play and think the shape. And a 1, and 2, and ready, and go. G, step up, and hold. Stay the same. Step up, and hold. Down a step. Same, up, down a skip, and up a skip. Let's play it again and think the note names. 1 and a 2 and a ready and play. G and A and B and hold it. B, C, D and hold it. C, D, C, D, B and hold it. D and hold it. Let's play it again. Those are 3 of my favorite words. And think finger numbers. 1 and a 2 and a ready and play. 5, 4, 3 and hold it. 3, 2, 1 and hold it. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3 and hold it. 1 and hold it. Stay with hands separated as many times as you need to for the notes and the rhythms to start to feel easy. Keep shifting what you are thinking about so you don't feel bored with the repetitions. If you notice that you are starting to make more mistakes instead of improving, that is a normal thing. Take a little break or play something different for a bit. You could play another song or even just some scales and arpeggios. Let's move on to hands together. Since our hands are playing different notes and different fingers, the things that we can say out loud as we play that will work for both hands is the shape of the notes most of the time, but the counting of the notes all the time. First, I'll say shaping patterns as much as possible, and let's go very slowly so I can fit in all those words. set up both your hands like your G major scale. If you don't know what that is, there's a video for that. Right hand, wiggle finger 3. Left hand, wiggle finger 5. And we're ready to go. 1 and a 2 and a ready, play. Together, step up, and hold. Right hand down a 5th, left hand stay. Up a step, going up, and hold. Down a step. Same, up, down. Same, up, down, skips. And here's where it's different. Right hand steps, left hand skips. Now let's do that again. And I'll say the counting as we go. And a 1, and a 2, and a ready, and play. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 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 and. Pause, repeat, and work the video. When your hands feel comfortable, hands together, keep going. Let's play it again with both hands, but let's try to really listen to our sounds. At first, it will be a major accomplishment to just get the right notes at the right times with both hands. Do not underestimate how big an accomplishment that is. Yet, we are not done. Transforming these notes and rhythms into music is what separates something physically accurate into something that is beautiful. It is not magic, it is a process. Keeping the different notes at slightly different volumes from one another makes the sounds blend together and feel more like how we talk and how we sing. This is what we're after. There are a lot of choices you can make. None of them are wrong, but I'm going to give you somewhere to start. I notice that the first measure has notes that are going up. Let's start softly and gradually get louder. This takes practice to have it happen, so before we go on, let's play only this measure. Starting softly means you need to have your fingers touching the key before you begin and let the weight of your arm sink down to play the note. You don't need to push hard or make a big gesture, just sink. We then want just a little more weight on each of the next 2 notes. You can work on this hands separately or hands together. I'm going to do hands together to save some time, but hands separate will make it much easier. So modify it to make it right for you. If it feels too easy, you'll feel bored. If it feels too hard, you will feel frustrated. Modify accordingly. 1 and 2, ready, go. Sink, grow, grow. Pause and repeat this until you like what you hear. I'm going to go ahead and do it hands separate for you so you can hear just right hand and just left hand. 1 and 2, ready, play. Sink, grow, grow. You may hear extreme changes at first. Maybe you can get them more subtle as you go, but just getting any change is what we're after. Let's switch to left hand. 1 and 2 and ready and play. Sink, grow, grow. Measure 2 is very similar to measure 1, so let's do the same sink, grow, grow idea. Since the right hand melody doesn't go quite as high as it did in measure 1, I'm going to grow a little less. So even these 2 similar patterns aren't exactly the same. Let's play measures 1 and measures 2 using our sink, grow, grow. Set up your hands in G scale position, and let's go nice and slow. 1 and 2 and ready and go. Sink, grow, grow. Now pull back. Sink, grow, grow. So you can hear how even those two measures can have some contrast with each other. Pause and repeat as many times as you want to, and feel free to experiment with your own ideas as well. In measure 3 and measure 4, there are a couple different ways to interpret this. You could think of it as one big long sentence for both measures, or you can divide it up into two shorter phrases. I'm going to do the two little shorter phrases, here and here. The first 3 beats of measure 3 I like as one idea. Then going through beat 4 through measure 4 as a different idea. Since both of these melodies are twisting around with the ups and downs, I'm going to start each one softly, get a little louder, and then get a little softer. You can think words to help you out. You might think soft, louder, soft. Then, now to here and back. Lyrics can be magic in helping you create musical sounds. Singing can also help you discover the way you like it to flow. It is almost impossible to sing without adding dynamics automatically. Now let's play. You can separate our 2 phrases or go straight into playing both. I'll play both. Then you modify with that pause, rewind, and all those personalization possibilities. Setting up our hands in our G position, we are going to start at measure 3, right hand finger 2 on A, left hand finger 2 on C, and thinking our dynamics. 1 and 2 and ready and go. Soft, louder, soft. Now to here and back. The last line is the same as the first, so you can definitely repeat all the same dynamics. Maybe the second time you make everything a bit louder for a contrast to the first. However, we must look at that last measure. It is not exactly the same. We have 3 repeated notes. Sometimes it is fine to have repeated notes stay exactly the same, but more often you'll want to make them each have their own special little sound. I'm going to do the same dynamics as I did back in measure 4, but I think I'll fade out even more extremely. Another way that we can put expression in is by altering time a bit. It is very common to slow down at the end of a song. So let's slow down these 3 little notes as well. Let's play from measure 7 to the end. For my lyrics, when I get to those last couple measures, I'm going to say soft, louder, soft, now to here and fade. Get that G major scale set up again. Notice both hands are starting on finger 2s, right hand's on A, left hand's on C. Just get all of that foundation exactly the way you want it. And 1 and a 2, and ready and play. Soft, louder, soft, now to here and fade. And now it's time to play the whole song. You've worked on accuracy, coordination, and musicality. Enjoy and show it off. You can play along with me, you can listen to how I interpret the song, or you can use that little pause and rewind feature to do a little of each. 1 and 2 and ready and play. And now here's that same piece again at performance tempo. Thank you so much for trusting me to guide you as you learn this wonderful instrument. And if you are still here, thank you for staying with me for the whole video. Remember to do all the things that are available for us to communicate here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, and ring the bell. I appreciate you and the community we are starting to form. Keep playing, and I'll see you next time.